I never imagined that darkness could hold such terror. It engulfs the world like a suffocating blanket, twisting reality and threatening our very existence. I am John, a father burdened with the responsibility of protecting my young daughter Sarah in this bleak and frightening landscape. The year is 2030, and humanity finds itself in the grip of a malevolent force. It started like any other day. The sun rose, but its light was muted, casting an eerie glow across the desolate streets. We ventured outside, our eyes tightly blindfolded, knowing that a mere glimpse of the outside world could mean our demise. The air felt thick with an unspoken fear, a tangible presence that clung to us like a specter. Sarah clung to my hand, her small fingers trembling against mine. Her trust in me was both heartening and overwhelming. I couldn't let her down. We had to survive this nightmare together. As we navigated the once familiar streets, I felt a chill run down my spine, a sensation that never left me in this world devoid of light. Every sound became magnified in the absence of sight. The rustling of leaves, the distant echoes of footsteps, even the gentle whispers of the wind assumed sinister undertones. I strained my ears, searching for any sign of danger. Sarah's little bird, Birdie, chirped restlessly in her makeshift shoebox, as if it sensed the presence of something beyond our comprehension. We cautiously made our way towards the remnants of what used to be a bustling town square. It was now a ghostly tableau frozen in time. Abandoned vehicles stood as silent witnesses to the chaos that had unfolded. The remnants of torn blindfolds fluttered like spectral apparitions, remnants of those who had failed to heed the warnings. As we ventured deeper into the heart of the town square, a chilling silence enveloped us. It was the kind of silence that made your heart race, the absence of life so profound that it became an entity in itself. Sarah clutched my hand tighter, her breath quickening in my ear. I reassured her, though deep down, my own fears gnawed at me. Suddenly, a whisper slithered through the air, carrying a haunting melody that sent shivers down my spine. It was an indiscernible voice, barely audible, yet laced with menace. My heart raced, and beads of sweat formed on my brow. Was I going mad? Or was this the work of some unseen force, taunting us in our vulnerability? Sarah's grip tightened even further as the whispers grew louder. Panic welled up within me, threatening to consume my sanity. I fought to keep my voice steady, to protect my daughter from the fear that threatened to engulf us. But how could I protect her from an enemy I couldn't see, from a darkness that defied comprehension? Birdie, sensing our unease, fluttered its wings frantically in the shoebox. It was as if the creature, with its limited sight, could perceive the encroaching danger better than we could. I wondered if we were merely pawns in some sinister game, manipulated by forces beyond our understanding. My instinct screamed at me to flee, to escape the clutches of the whispers that grew more insistent with each passing moment. But where could we run? The darkness had consumed everything, leaving us trapped in a realm of perpetual dread. Finally, unable to bear the weight of the whispers any longer, I made a decision. Gripping Sarah's hand, I steered us away from the haunting voices, our blindfolded footsteps echoing in the empty square. We retreated, leaving the whispers behind. Yet their haunting melody clung to us like a curse. The whispers continued to haunt my dreams, their haunting melody echoing in my mind. I knew we had to keep moving, to find safety in this twisted world. Sarah's trust in me pushed me forward, driving me to protect her from the unfathomable horrors that lurked in the shadows. We had to stay vigilant, for danger lurked around every corner. As we ventured further, we encountered a small group of survivors who had managed to adapt to this new reality. Their faces were etched with weariness and despair, yet a glimmer of hope remained in their eyes. We joined them, seeking strength in numbers and a sanctuary from the encroaching darkness. In this fragile community, each day was a battle for survival. We learned to communicate through whispers, to move with the utmost caution. The slightest sound could betray our presence to the creatures that hunted us. They were drawn to noise, to fear. And we, the few remaining humans, became adept at suppressing our terror, at smothering our screams. But amidst the camaraderie, a sense of unease lingered. Whispers spread like wildfire, rumors of desperate measures taken to ensure survival. The Lost Ones, they were called. A group that had embraced the darkness in a twisted attempt to protect themselves. They had forsaken compassion, seeing it as weakness, and had resorted to sacrificing those they deemed expendable. I wrestled with the choice of staying with this morally compromised group or forging our own path. Sarah's innocence demanded a better future, one free from the stain of such cruelty. So, with heavy hearts, we bid farewell to the community, knowing that danger awaited us in the unknown. We pressed on, our blindfolded journey a testament to our resilience. Each step was a leap of faith, an act of defiance against the sinister forces that sought to extinguish our lives. Sarah's little bird, Birdie, served as our guiding light, its agitated movements warning us of impending danger. One day, as we traversed a desolate forest, the air grew heavy with a foreboding presence. Birdie's frantic fluttering echoed in the silence, a clear sign that we were no longer alone. Fear coiled in my chest, and I gripped Sarah's hand tightly, praying for strength. Suddenly, a low growl reverberated through the trees, chilling me to the bone. The creatures were near, their presence lurking in the darkened recesses of the forest. Our hearts pounded in unison as we inched forward, our senses heightened to the breaking point. It felt as though time stood still as we tiptoed through the forest, our every movement amplified in the suffocating silence. The oppressive weight of the unseen foe bore down on us, threatening to consume our resolve. The air grew colder, a tangible sign of the malevolence that surrounded us. Then a twig snapped underfoot, the sound ricocheting through the stillness. Panic surged through my veins, my mind racing to find a way out, but it was too late. The creatures, attracted by the noise, descended upon us with a fury I could scarcely comprehend. Their presence was terrifying even though we couldn't see them. Their presence was felt in the bone-chilling gusts of wind, in the whispers that taunted our every step. They were merciless, relentless, striking with a speed and precision that defied logic. I fought desperately to protect Sarah, to shield her from the horrors that surrounded us. But in that moment, the unthinkable happened. A piercing screech filled the air, and Sarah's hand slipped from mine. I turned, my heart seizing in my chest. She was gone. The creatures had taken her, and I was left alone in the suffocating darkness. My screams echoed through the forest, the sound carrying the weight of my despair. I fell to my knees, my vision clouded by tears, knowing that I had failed in my most important duty. Sarah, my precious daughter, was lost to me, consumed by the very darkness that had taken hold of our world. The loss of Sarah hung heavy in the air, an indescribable void that threatened to consume me. But I couldn't succumb to despair. I had made a promise to protect her, and even in death, I would honor that promise. I wiped away my tears, steeling myself against the encroaching darkness. I ventured forward, alone and haunted by memories of Sarah's laughter, her innocent smile. The forest whispered secrets I couldn't comprehend, its dense foliage hiding untold dangers. Every step felt like a betrayal, a reminder of my failure as a father. Days turned into nights, a never-ending cycle of blindfolded solitude. The world had become a labyrinth of terror, and I was trapped within its claustrophobic confines. Yet a flicker of determination burned within me. I would uncover the truth behind this phenomenon, the malevolence that had claimed my daughter. In my darkest moments, I clutched Birdie's shoebox close to my heart. It was the last connection to Sarah, a fragile thread linking me to her memory. Birdie's agitated movements, once a warning, had become a constant reminder of what I had lost. Yet, I drew strength from it, reminding myself to persevere, to keep fighting. As I journeyed deeper into the heart of darkness, a revelation struck me like lightning. The creatures, the whispers, they were not the true enemy. They were merely manifestations of a far more ancient and malevolent force. A force that had been manipulating our world since time immemorial. I sought refuge in a dilapidated library, a sanctuary of forgotten knowledge. Dust-covered shelves stretched into the distance, their secrets waiting to be unearthed. I knew that within these forgotten tomes lay the answers I sought. I carefully navigated the rows, my fingers tracing the spines of long-forgotten books. One book, seemingly untouched by time, caught my attention. Its leather-bound cover emitted an otherworldly aura. With trembling hands, I opened it, the pages crackling with anticipation. The words that greeted me were a labyrinth of ancient languages and cryptic symbols, but their meaning was clear. I pored over the pages, piecing together a chilling truth. The phenomenon that had robbed us of our sight was the work of an ancient entity, a malevolent force that thrived on chaos and despair. It reveled in the torment of humanity, manipulating our fears to feed its insatiable hunger. The truth hit me like a physical blow. Our journey, my journey, was not merely about survival. It was about understanding, about unraveling the sinister web that had ensnared us all. My purpose crystallized in that moment. I would confront this entity, expose its wickedness, and seek justice for Sarah and all those lost to its darkness. With newfound determination, I closed the ancient tome, its secrets etched into my soul. The path ahead was treacherous, the odds stacked against me. But I would not falter. I would honor Sarah's memory, a beacon of light in a world shrouded in darkness. Armed with the knowledge I had acquired, I set forth once more, my heart aflame with a resolve that refused to be extinguished. The creatures may have taken my daughter, but they would not take my spirit. I would pierce the veil of this enigma and confront the entity that had shattered our lives. As I ventured into the unknown, a single thought echoed in my mind. I would find the entity, expose its true nature, and in doing so, find closure for the agonizing loss that had befallen me. The road stretched out before me, a winding path through the darkness. The events that had unfolded since Sarah's loss had left an indelible mark on my soul. Yet the quest for answers drove me forward, propelling me deeper into the heart of the unknown. In the silence of the night, the whispers grew louder, invading my thoughts like insidious tendrils. They taunted me, their spectral voices weaving a tapestry of fear and doubt. I questioned my sanity, wondering if the darkness had claimed not only my daughter, but also my mind. Each night, as I sought refuge in an abandoned house, the whispers intensified. They seeped through the cracks in the walls, their haunting melodies filling the air. Sleep became an elusive dream, for the whispers refused to grant me respite. One night, as I lay on a musty mattress, the whispers seemed to emanate from within the room. They wrapped around me like a suffocating fog, their words muffled yet laden with a malevolence that sent chills down my spine. I clutched Bertie's shoebox close to my chest, seeking solace in its presence. In the depths of my despair, a fragment of a message pierced through the cacophony of voices. "They watch you," it whispered, barely audible but unmistakable. "Beware the eyes that see through the darkness." My heart skipped a beat, my breath catching in my throat. Who were they? And what did it mean to see through the darkness? The pieces of the puzzle began to assemble in my mind, a revelation both chilling and tantalizing. The next morning, fueled by a newfound determination, I resumed my journey. The road twisted and turned, its twists mirroring the enigma that lay before me. The whispers persisted, their ethereal presence a constant reminder of the unseen forces at work. As I walked, I noticed peculiar signs along the way, symbols etched into trees, cryptic messages scrawled on abandoned buildings. They seemed to guide me, urging me forward on my quest. I deciphered their meaning, piecing together a map of clues that led me closer to the truth. The path veered towards a desolate town, its dilapidated structures exuding an air of mystery. I cautiously entered, my senses on high alert. The silence was deafening, a vacuum of sound that pressed against my eardrums. Every step reverberated through the empty streets, amplifying my own presence. In the heart of the town, I discovered a crumbling church, its stained glass windows shattered, casting fractured rainbows upon the worn pews. A sense of foreboding settled over me as I stepped inside. The air was heavy, thick with an unseen presence that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. A flickering candle caught my eye, its feeble flame dancing against the encroaching darkness. I approached it, drawn to its wavering glow. As I gazed into the flickering light, I saw movement in the corner of my eye, a shadowy figure standing in the farthest pew. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. The figure was barely discernible, cloaked in darkness. Yet, its eyes burned with an otherworldly light, piercing through the gloom. I could feel its gaze upon me, a weight that threatened to unravel my very being. A surge of adrenaline coursed through my veins, overriding my fear. I summoned my courage, my voice quivering as I spoke into the cavernous silence. "Who are you?" I called out, my words echoing through the empty church. In response, A low, gravelly chuckle emanated from the shadowy figure. It slinked forward, revealing itself to be a woman draped in tattered robes, her eyes smoldering with an intensity that sent shivers down my spine. "Seeker of truth," she hissed, her voice laced with a sinister melody. "Beware the eyes that see through the darkness, for they hold the power to reveal the secrets of this world." Her words hung in the air, pregnant with a dreadful weight. I knew then that the answers I sought lay within those eyes, eyes that pierced through the veils of deception. It was a revelation both terrifying and exhilarating. The woman's words lingered in the air, a sinister echo that resonated within me. The power of the eyes that see through the darkness ignited a newfound sense of purpose. I had to find those eyes, uncover their secrets, and shed light on the enigma that had enveloped our world. With trepidation and curiosity entwined, I followed the woman. Her steps were measured, deliberate, leading me through winding alleys and desolate streets. The remnants of the town whispered tales of forgotten lives, their silent cries urging me to press forward. Finally, we arrived at a hidden enclave, a dilapidated building nestled away from prying eyes. It was the refuge of the lost ones, those who had forsaken their humanity in a desperate attempt to survive. Fear and caution gripped me as I approached the entrance, unsure of what lay beyond. The door creaked open, revealing a chamber cloaked in darkness. As I stepped inside, the acrid stench of decay assaulted my senses. Shadows danced on the walls, casting eerie silhouettes of figures huddled together. They regarded me with hollow eyes, their faces etched with despair. Their leader, a man named Ethan, stepped forward, his voice a whisper carried by the wind. "Welcome, seeker of truth. We are the lost ones, survivors in this sea of darkness. We have made sacrifices to protect ourselves, to ensure our survival." I couldn't help but recoil at the desperation in his voice, the depths to which they had sunk to preserve their own lives. The lost ones had embraced the darkness, believing it to be their only salvation. But I knew their actions came at a great cost, a cost I refused to bear. Ethan gestured toward a darkened corner of the chamber. "Behold," he said, his voice tinged with a mix of reverence and fear, "the eyes of revelation." My heart quickened as I approached the corner. There, in a small ornate box, lay two eyes preserved in a crystalline substance. They shimmered with an otherworldly luminescence, their gaze fixed and penetrating. It was a sight both mesmerizing and unsettling, their power palpable. "The eyes," Ethan continued, "are said to possess the ability to see beyond the physical realm, to pierce through the darkness that blinds us. They hold the secrets of this twisted world, secrets that we, the lost ones, have sought to harness for our own survival." A surge of determination coursed through me. I had come too far to be swayed by their misguided quest for control. These eyes were not meant to be used for personal gain, but rather to illuminate the truth and bring justice to the fallen. "I will not let the darkness consume me," I declared, my voice firm. "These eyes are not tools of manipulation, but beacons of revelation. I will use them to expose the malevolence that lurks in the shadows and seek justice for those who have suffered." A murmur of dissent rippled through the chamber, but I paid it no mind. I took hold of the eyes of revelation, feeling their weight in my hands. They pulsed with an otherworldly energy, resonating with a power that beckoned me forward. With the eyes in my possession, I bid farewell to the lost ones, their faces twisted with resentment and desperation, a stark reminder of the lengths they had gone to survive. But I knew that true survival came not from embracing the darkness, but from confronting it head-on. As I ventured out into the night, the eyes of revelation held close to my heart. I felt a renewed sense of purpose. The path ahead would be treacherous, fraught with danger and uncertainty. But armed with the power to see through the darkness, I was ready to face whatever lay in wait. The eyes of revelation pulsed with an otherworldly energy as I ventured deeper into the heart of darkness. Their presence offered me a glimmer of hope, a newfound clarity amidst the chaos. With each step, I felt a growing anticipation, a sense that I was drawing closer to the truth that had eluded me for so long. As I walked through the desolate streets, the world seemed to hold its breath. Shadows danced in the corners of my vision, their movements elusive and enigmatic. The whispers that had haunted me faded into a distant hum, replaced by an eerie silence that made my skin crawl. Then, I heard it. A soft rustling, a barely audible sigh carried on the wind. Instinct took over as I ducked behind a crumbling wall, my senses heightened. I peered through the darkness, searching for the source of the sound, my grip tightening on the eyes of revelation. Suddenly, figures emerged from the gloom, their silhouettes swaying in an ethereal dance. The creatures, drawn by the eye's potent energy, surrounded me with their presence. Their eyes, void of light, stared into my very soul, as if trying to pierce the secrets I held within. But I stood my ground, emboldened by the power of the eyes. With a newfound clarity, I could see through their veiled attempts at intimidation. They were mere pawns, extensions of the ancient entity that had plunged the world into darkness, and I was determined to confront that entity head-on. As I moved forward, the creatures recoiled, sensing the strength of the eyes. I pressed on, guided by an invisible force that pulled me deeper into the heart of the enigma. The path grew treacherous, twisting and turning like a labyrinth of nightmares, but I pressed on, undeterred. Eventually, I arrived at an abandoned asylum, a place steeped in darkness, its walls oozing with a malevolence that made my skin crawl. The air was heavy, suffused with the lingering remnants of pain and suffering. With each step, I could feel the weight of the building's history bearing down upon me. I entered the asylum, my footsteps echoing in the oppressive silence. The flickering light of my flashlight cast eerie shadows, revealing forgotten corridors and decrepit cells. It was a place that housed both physical and metaphorical darkness, a reflection of the world outside. As I explored further, a sense of foreboding settled over me. Whispers, distorted and haunting, echoed through the hallways. They beckoned me forward, their seductive call weaving through the fabric of my consciousness. I knew I was being lured into a trap, yet the power of the eyes compelled me to push forward. In the depths of the asylum, I stumbled upon a chamber shrouded in darkness. Within its confines, a group of survivors huddled together, their faces twisted by desperation. The air crackled with tension as their eyes met mine, suspicion and fear etched into their features. One among them, a woman named Lydia, stepped forward. Her voice was laced with bitterness as she spoke, her words dripping with an undercurrent of deceit. "You think you can challenge the darkness, but you are but a fool," she spat. "The eyes of revelation have brought only death and despair. They are not a gift, but a curse." I stood my ground, the weight of the eyes in my hand grounding me. "You misunderstand," I countered. "The eyes hold the power to expose the true nature of the darkness that plagues us. They are a beacon of truth, a means to seek justice and redemption." Lydia's eyes narrowed, her expression hardened. "Justice and redemption?" she scoffed. "There is no justice in this world, only survival. We, the lost ones, have learned that the hard way, and we will stop at nothing to protect ourselves, even if it means sacrificing the likes of you." In that moment, the chamber erupted into chaos. The lost ones, consumed by fear and desperation, lunged towards me, their eyes filled with a twisted determination. I fought back, wielding the power of the eyes to fend off their attacks. But betrayal cut deep, and my heart ached at the loss of trust and unity. As the battle raged on, I managed to break free, leaving the chamber behind. Bloodied and battered, I realized that the path to the entity that had plunged the world into darkness would not be an easy one. But I was undeterred. The eyes of revelation burned brighter than ever, guiding me towards a confrontation that would define our fate. Pain and exhaustion gripped every fiber of my being as I pressed forward. The weight of the eyes of revelation, a constant reminder of the journey that lay ahead. The world outside had become a twisted nightmare, its very fabric infused with malevolence. But I remained resolute, driven by the need to confront the ancient entity that had cast this darkness upon us. Following the faint whispers that guided me, I found myself standing before an ancient door hidden deep within the bowels of the earth. It was a portal to a realm unseen, a threshold beyond which the truth awaited. I took a deep breath, steeling myself for what lay beyond, and pushed the heavy door open. As the door creaked open, the air changed, becoming charged with a tangible electricity. I stepped into a realm of shadows and ethereal whispers, the veil between our world and the unknown thinning before me. A sense of unease settled in my bones, but I knew I had to press forward. There was no turning back now. The path that unfolded before me was a labyrinthine maze, twisting and turning in disorienting patterns. Walls dripped with an otherworldly mist, their presence whispering secrets that my mortal senses could not comprehend. The whispers grew louder, more insistent, drawing me deeper into the abyss. I navigated the treacherous corridors, my steps guided by the flickering light of the eyes of revelation. The power they held surged through me, fueling my resolve. Yet with each step, the darkness pressed closer, threatening to swallow me whole. Amidst the labyrinth, I came across a chamber bathed in an eerie glow. It emanated from an ornate pedestal, upon which rested an ancient tome, an artifact of untold power. Its pages seemed to pulse with a life force, beckoning me to unravel its secrets. With trembling hands, I opened the tome, and ancient knowledge spilled forth. The words leapt from the pages, dancing in the air with an ethereal brilliance. They spoke of forgotten realms, of cosmic forces that shaped the very fabric of our existence. I devoured their secrets, each revelation both awe-inspiring and terrifying. As I delved deeper into the tome's revelations, a chilling truth emerged. The ancient entity that had cast the world into darkness was not merely a force of chaos, but a sentient being, a deity hungering for the destruction of all humanity. It had thrived on fear and despair, weaving its dark influence into every corner of our world. With mounting dread, I realized that my quest was not just about Sarah, or the lost souls of this bleak reality. It was about the survival of our species, about reclaiming the light that had been stolen from us. The responsibility weighed heavily upon me, but I refused to falter. I would face this deity, confront it with the truth, and unleash the power of the eyes to banish it from our world. Leaving the chamber behind, I continued my journey through the labyrinth. The whispers grew louder, echoing through the twisted corridors. They seemed to taunt me, their spectral voices luring me further into the heart of darkness. But I pressed on, the resolve burning within me like a beacon of hope. As I reached the final turn, the darkness gave way to a blinding light. I shielded my eyes, squinting through the radiance to behold the form of the ancient deity. It stood tall and imposing, its figure a shadowy silhouette wreathed in a swirling maelstrom of darkness. Its voice reverberated through the chamber, a thunderous presence that shook me to my core. "You dare defy me, mortal!" it boomed, its words laced with arrogance. "Your futile attempts to reclaim the light shall only result in your annihilation." But I stood firm, the eyes of revelation clutched tightly in my hands. "I have seen through your darkness," I retorted, my voice unwavering. "I know the truth, and I will not let fear dictate my actions any longer. The light will prevail." With those words, I held the eyes aloft, their radiant energy pulsing through me. The deity recoiled, its form writhing in agony as the light pierced its shadowy essence. It howled with fury, its once mighty presence dwindling before my eyes. In that moment, the darkness began to recede. A warm glow enveloped the chamber, driving back the malevolence that had plagued our world. The deity's power diminished, and as its form dissolved into nothingness, the air was filled with a profound stillness. I had triumphed. The veil of darkness had been lifted, revealing a world touched by light once more. But my journey was far from over. The battle may have been won, but the war against fear and despair raged on. As the darkness receded, replaced by the comforting embrace of light, a newfound hope welled within me. I knew that my journey was not over, that there were others who still needed to be liberated from the clutches of fear and despair. With the eyes of revelation guiding my steps, I set forth on a mission to restore faith in humanity. The whispers that had haunted me throughout my odyssey now served as beacons of guidance. They led me to pockets of survivors, scattered remnants of a fractured world. Each encounter brought with it tales of loss, grief, and resilience. I listened, my heart heavy with their burdens, but also filled with a determination to bring them solace. In a small, forgotten village, I encountered a group of survivors who had carved out a semblance of normalcy amidst the chaos. They had managed to build a sanctuary where hope flickered like a fragile flame. Their leader, a wise and weathered woman named Isabella, greeted me with a mixture of caution and curiosity. Isabella's eyes bore the weight of countless struggles, yet they still shimmered with a glimmer of hope. She recognized the power of the eyes of revelation and the importance of their mission. Together, we devised a plan to spread the truth, to bring light to those who still dwelled in the shadows. Under the cover of night, we embarked on a journey through the remnants of civilization. Armed with the knowledge and the radiant presence of the eyes, we sought out those who had lost their way, those who had succumbed to the darkness. We became beacons of redemption, illuminating their path, and igniting a spark within their hearts. But darkness is not easily vanquished. As we ventured deeper into the night, the malevolent forces that had plagued our world rallied against our mission. Shadows danced in the periphery, whispering doubts and planting seeds of fear. They tried to snuff out the flames of hope we had ignited. One fateful night, as we traversed a desolate forest, the whispers grew louder, their insidious voices echoing through the trees. A thick fog enveloped us, obscuring our vision and shrouding the path ahead. Fear tightened its grip around my heart, threatening to extinguish the light within me. But Isabella's voice cut through the darkness, strong and unwavering. "Do not falter," she urged, her words carrying a resolve that resonated in my soul. "We have come too far to surrender to the whims of fear. Hold on to the light, for it is our shield against the encroaching darkness." With renewed determination, we pressed forward, our steps resolute and synchronized. The eyes of revelation radiated with an intensity that defied the encompassing fog, leading us through the labyrinthine forest. As we walked, our presence became a beacon that dispersed the shadows, forcing them to retreat into the depths. At the heart of the forest, we discovered a hidden grove, a sacred place untouched by the darkness. Within its mystical boundaries, a tree stood tall and majestic, its branches reaching towards the heavens. It exuded an energy that pulsed through the air, stirring the very essence of our being. In awe, we gathered around the tree, its ethereal light illuminating our faces. Isabella spoke, her voice carrying a weight that resonated with the ages. "This tree, the tree of redemption, holds the essence of our humanity. It is a symbol of our resilience and our capacity to overcome the darkest of times." With reverence, we raised our voices, chanting a prayer of redemption and hope. The forest seemed to respond, its silence broken by a chorus of echoes that carried our message far and wide. The darkness recoiled, its grip weakening as the light of our collective will pierced its heart. In that sacred grove, we formed a bond, a united front against the forces that sought to extinguish our spirit. We pledged to spread the truth, to reclaim our world from the clutches of fear. Armed with the eyes of revelation and the strength of our collective resolve, we became warriors of light, warriors of redemption. And so, we ventured forth, carrying the torch of hope through the darkest corners of our shattered world. Our mission was far from over, but with every step, with every whispered truth, we dispelled the shadows and breathed life into a future once lost. The weight of the world rested on my shoulders as I continued my journey alongside Isabella and the remaining survivors. The whispers of the unseen realm guided our path, leading us towards the heart of the ancient entity that had cast our world into darkness. With each step, the anticipation grew, mingled with a bone-chilling fear that threatened to consume us. As we approached the final destination, the air thickened with an eerie stillness. Shadows clung to the corners, shifting and contorting like living entities. The eyes of revelation pulsed with a fervent energy, as if sensing the imminent confrontation that would determine the fate of our world. We reached the edge of a desolate abyss, a void that seemed to stretch into infinity. The ground beneath us gave way to a precipice of darkness, an abyss so deep that it devoured even the feeblest rays of light. It was here, at the edge of this eternal darkness, that the ancient entity awaited us. With a mixture of trepidation and resolve, we crossed the threshold, stepping into the abyss. The whispers grew louder, resonating within the depths of our minds. The very fabric of reality seemed to waver, as if torn between two opposing forces, one of light and hope, the other of darkness and despair. Suddenly the darkness parted, revealing the ancient entity, a monstrous amalgamation of shadows and malevolence. Its form was ever-shifting, a grotesque visage that defied comprehension. It emanated a palpable aura of malevolence, its presence suffocating and suffused with an insatiable hunger. I could feel its gaze upon me, its eyes burning with an intensity that seared into my very soul. Its voice, a chilling symphony of whispers, echoed through the abyss. "You have dared to challenge me, mortal," it hissed, its voice a cacophony of menace. "But in the end, you are but a speck of light in an eternal sea of darkness." I met its gaze with unwavering determination, the eyes of revelation pulsating in my hands. "You may be ancient, but the power of humanity's will is far greater," I retorted, my voice laced with defiance. We refuse to be consumed by fear and despair. We will reclaim our world from your clutches. A battle of wills ensued, the clash of light and darkness threatening to tear the fabric of reality apart. The ancient entity unleashed its fury, conjuring tendrils of darkness that lashed out towards us. We fought back, wielding the power of the eyes as our shield and sword. The struggle was relentless, each moment a dance between life and oblivion. But as the battle raged on, a realization dawned upon me. This entity thrived on fear and despair, drawing strength from our weaknesses. To truly defeat it, we had to stand united, casting aside our doubts and embracing the light within us. Only then could we prevail against the darkness. With a renewed determination, I turned to my companions, my voice ringing out with fervor. We must rise above our fears, I implored. We must believe in the power of redemption and the resilience of our human spirit. Together, we can banish this darkness from our world. In that moment, a surge of collective strength coursed through us. Our resolve merged into a powerful beacon of light, piercing through the abyss and engulfing the ancient entity. It wailed in agony, its form writhing and dissipating into the void. The darkness recoiled, retreating back to the shadows from whence it came. As the ancient entity dissipated, a blinding light erupted from the abyss, illuminating the world with a radiance not seen in ages. The darkness that had plagued us for so long shattered, giving way to a new dawn, an era of hope and redemption. We stood at the precipice of victory, our spirits soaring with the weight of our triumph. The world, once veiled in darkness, was reborn, bathed in the brilliance of a future reclaimed. The sacrifices made, the battles fought, and the horrors endured, all had led to this moment of profound transformation. With hearts filled with gratitude and resilience, we emerged from the abyss, carrying the light within us. Our journey was far from over, but we embraced the unknown with open arms, ready to rebuild a world haunted by shadows. The remnants of the world lay before me, a haunting reminder of the darkness that once consumed us. Our victory over the ancient entity had brought light back into our lives, but scars still marred the landscape. The echoes of our journey reverberated in my mind as I embarked on a new chapter, determined to restore what had been lost. In the aftermath of the battle, the survivors scattered across the broken lands sought solace in the ruins of the past. Among them was a group of individuals known as the Seekers, seekers of forgotten knowledge and guardians of the untold secrets that lay dormant. I was drawn to them, sensing that their path intertwined with my own. The Seekers resided in a decaying library, a relic from a time long gone. As I stepped through its crumbling doors, the musty scent of ancient tomes filled the air, sending shivers down my spine. Dust-covered shelves stood as silent sentinels, holding the secrets of forgotten worlds. A figure emerged from the shadows, a woman named Evelyn, her eyes shimmering with an otherworldly intensity. She recognized the power of the eyes of revelation, and we forged a bond, our purposes intertwining. Together, we would uncover the mysteries that lingered in the forgotten corners of our shattered world. Under Evelyn's guidance, we delved deep into the archives of the library, unearthing long-forgotten texts and manuscripts. The pages whispered tales of forgotten realms and unspeakable horrors. Each word held a secret, each paragraph a revelation waiting to be discovered. As we immersed ourselves in the knowledge of the past, we stumbled upon a chilling tale, the legend of the Darkened Veil. It spoke of an ancient ritual, a gateway to another realm where nightmares were born and thrived. Intrigued and wary, we knew that the only way to safeguard our world was to confront the darkness at its source. Our quest led us to a remote village nestled amidst towering cliffs, where the Darkened Veil was said to reside. The air hung heavy with anticipation as we approached, the very atmosphere crackling with a malevolent energy. The villagers regarded us with caution, their eyes filled with a mixture of fear and curiosity. Through their hushed whispers, we learned of the villagers' harrowing encounters with the creatures that lurked beyond the veil. Their tales sent shivers down our spines, for we knew that our journey would take us into the heart of unimaginable horrors. With determination etched upon our faces, Evelyn and I ventured forth towards the veil. The path grew treacherous, the landscape transforming into a twisted maze of thorns and shadows. The whispers in the wind grew louder, warning us of the perils that lay ahead. Finally, we arrived at the threshold of the darkened veil, a miasma of darkness that swirled and writhed, its tendrils reaching out like gnarled fingers. Dread settled deep within my soul as we stepped closer, the veil beckoning us into the abyss. As we crossed the boundary, a cacophony of wails and growls assaulted our senses. The realm beyond was a twisted reflection of our own, where nightmares and twisted creatures roamed freely. The air was thick with an oppressive darkness, a weight that threatened to crush our spirits. We navigated the nightmarish realm, our hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. Each step brought us closer to the heart of the darkness, where the source of the veil awaited us. Whispers followed us, mocking and taunting, promising an eternity of despair. In the depths of the abyss, we encountered a creature of pure malevolence, a guardian of the veil. Its form shifted and contorted, its eyes gleaming with a hunger that mirrored the darkness around us. It lunged at us, its grotesque appendages slashing through the air with lethal precision. We fought back, the power of the eyes of revelation guiding our every move. With each strike, the creature weakened, its form dissipating into the ether. But victory came at a cost, for the darkness fought back with a ferocity that tested our resolve. As the battle reached its climax, a surge of energy erupted from the veil. It fought to maintain its grip, desperate to prevent us from uncovering its secrets. But we stood strong, our will fortified by the light that burned within us. With one final blow, the guardian of the veil crumbled, its essence vanishing into the abyss. The veil itself trembled, its hold on our world weakening. A blinding light burst forth, shattering the darkness, and the realm beyond the veil collapsed in on itself. We emerged from the abyss, our bodies battered and souls weary, but triumphant. The darkened veil was no more, its malevolence scattered like ashes in the wind. Our world was free from its grip, bathed in the radiance of a hard-won victory. But our journey was far from over. The secrets we had uncovered would lead us to new revelations and unforeseen challenges. The darkness may have receded, but shadows still lingered, waiting for their chance to strike. The weight of our previous victories still hung in the air, as Evelyn and I continued our journey through the aftermath of the darkened veil. The whispers of forgotten knowledge echoed in the recesses of my mind, urging me to seek out the answers that remained elusive. With the eyes of revelation guiding our way, we pressed forward into uncharted territory. Our path led us to a desolate village nestled in the heart of a dense forest. The air was heavy with an eerie stillness, and the silence seemed to bear witness to the unspeakable horrors that had unfolded there. The village appeared frozen in time, its buildings crumbling and vines creeping through the cracks. As we cautiously stepped through the abandoned streets, the sense of unease grew. Shadows danced along the walls, elongated and contorted like twisted specters. The remnants of life lingered, a palpable presence that sent shivers down my spine. Suddenly, a faint whisper caressed my ear, barely audible but laden with secrets. I turned, searching for the source, my heart pounding in my chest. Evelyn, too, had noticed the ethereal murmurings, her eyes wide with curiosity. Following the whisper's ethereal trail, we arrived at a dilapidated house on the outskirts of the village. Its decaying facade loomed before us, an imposing figure against the fading light. The air grew heavy with anticipation as we crossed the threshold, stepping into the realm of the unknown. Inside, the house was engulfed in darkness, the absence of light creating a void that seemed to swallow us whole. We relied on the faint glow of the eyes of revelation to guide our steps, their radiance casting eerie shadows that danced on the walls. Whispers grew louder, their voices layered with sorrow and anguish. They seemed to emanate from the very walls, as if the house itself held the memories of past torment. My pulse quickened, my senses sharpening as the weight of the unknown pressed upon me. We ascended a creaking staircase, its steps protesting our intrusion. The upper floor lay cloaked in impenetrable darkness, but the whispers drew us further, urging us to uncover their secrets. Fear gripped my heart, yet the lure of discovery propelled me forward. In a room at the end of the hallway, a faint glow flickered. We approached with caution, the whispers growing louder, their voices intertwining in a haunting chorus. The room's door groaned as we pushed it open, revealing a scene frozen in time. Within, an array of candles burned, their feeble flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. The whispers crescendoed, their voices a chorus of lost souls seeking solace. And in the center of the room, a small girl stood, her eyes hollow and filled with a melancholic sadness. I felt a chill run down my spine, a cold realization washing over me. The girl was trapped in a timeless loop, reliving the moment of her anguish over and over again. Her whispers spoke of a tragedy that had consumed her, binding her spirit to this place. Evelyn and I exchanged glances, understanding passing between us. We had to free her, to release her from the clutches of this haunting cycle. With the eyes of revelation shining brightly, we approached the girl, our voices soft, but filled with conviction. "We hear your whispers," I spoke, my voice trembling with empathy. "We seek to break the chains that bind you, to offer you solace and release. Share your truth with us, and together we shall find the path to your redemption." The girl's eyes met mine, and for a fleeting moment, a spark of recognition flickered within them. Her whispers grew more distinct, the pain and sorrow etched into every word. She revealed a tale of betrayal, of a darkness that had consumed her and those she loved. Evelyn and I listened, our hearts heavy with the weight of her story. As the girl's whispers subsided, we knew that the time for action had come. With the eyes of revelation as our guide, we embarked on a journey to confront the darkness that had ensnared her soul. Through winding corridors and shadowed chambers, we fought against the malevolence that clung to the house. Each step brought us closer to the heart of the darkness, our resolve tested by the horrors that lurked in the shadows. Yet the light of the eyes remained steadfast, pushing back against the encroaching despair. Finally, in the depths of the house, we encountered a malevolent presence, an entity born from the girl's anguish. Its form twisted and contorted, a grotesque manifestation of pain and betrayal. It lunged at us with a ferocity fueled by the girl's torment, its claws slashing through the air with deadly intent. But we refused to falter. With the power of the eyes coursing through us, we fought back, wielding light against darkness. Each strike weakened the entity, pushing it back, until finally, with a final burst of radiant energy, we banished it into oblivion. As the darkness dissipated, a profound stillness settled within the house. The girl's spirit stood before us, her eyes no longer empty but filled with gratitude. She spoke, her voice filled with a bittersweet resolve. "Thank you for hearing my whispers," she said, her words tinged with a newfound hope. "You have freed me from the torment that bound me here. May the light guide your path, and may redemption be your eternal companion." With those words, her spirit dissipated, leaving behind a sense of peace that permeated the house. The whispers subsided, replaced by an eerie silence. We had completed our task, freeing a lost soul and finding solace in the face of darkness. As the whispers of the forgotten faded into silence, Evelyn and I pressed onward, our quest for redemption reaching its climactic juncture. The weight of our journey bore down on my shoulders, yet a fire burned within me, a relentless determination to uncover the final truths hidden in the shadows. Guided by the whispers of the past, we found ourselves in a desolate town on the outskirts of civilization. It was a place steeped in mystery, its streets shrouded in an oppressive darkness. The air hung heavy with anticipation, and an unnerving stillness settled over the abandoned buildings. We had heard tales of an ancient artifact, a veiled key said to hold the power to unlock the final revelations. Legends spoke of its hidden location, buried deep beneath the town's dilapidated church. It was there that we ventured, our steps cautious and hearts braced for what lay ahead. The church stood as a monument to forgotten faith, its once majestic structure now crumbling and forsaken. The wooden doors groaned as we pushed them open, revealing a cavernous space steeped in shadow. The air grew colder, and a sense of foreboding gripped me like icy tendrils. We stepped into the dimly lit interior, the soft glow of the eyes of revelation casting eerie silhouettes on the decaying pews. Dust particles danced in the stagnant air, and the scent of decay mingled with a faint hint of something unnatural. As we approached the altar, a surge of energy crackled through the air, raising the hair on the back of my neck. The whispers returned, but this time they spoke of ancient rituals and sacrificial rites. Dread settled in the pit of my stomach, yet I knew we had come too far to turn back. With trepidation, we descended into the depths of the church, following a hidden passage that wound its way beneath the sacred grounds. The stone walls exuded a haunting chill, and the echoes of our footsteps reverberated with a haunting resonance. At the end of the passageway, we reached a hidden chamber, the Veiled Sanctum. Its walls were adorned with arcane symbols, and an altar stood at its center, adorned with a mysterious artifact, a golden key veiled in darkness. I approached the altar, my heart pounding with a mixture of anticipation and fear. The key beckoned me, its dark allure tempting me to unveil its secrets. But as I reached out to touch it, a sudden gust of wind filled the chamber, extinguishing the candle flames that had illuminated our path. Darkness enveloped us, a suffocating cloak that swallowed all light. Panic gripped my heart, and I frantically searched for Evelyn amidst the black void. But in that moment of despair, a single candle flickered to life. The eyes of revelation refusing to succumb to the encroaching darkness. I took solace in its feeble glow, allowing it to guide me back to the altar. With renewed determination, I grasped the veiled key in my hands, its cold surface pulsating with an energy that sent shivers down my spine. As I turned it in the lock of the hidden chamber, a blinding light burst forth, dispelling the darkness that had consumed us. When the light receded, we found ourselves in a realm bathed in ethereal luminescence. The Veiled Sanctum had transformed into a sanctuary of radiant beauty, the air filled with a sense of transcendence. The whispers returned, no longer tinged with despair, but filled with reverence and ancient wisdom. A spectral figure materialized before us, a guardian of the veiled key, its presence ethereal and majestic. It spoke in a voice that resonated through the depths of my being, carrying the weight of countless generations. "You have shown great courage and resilience," the guardian intoned. "The path you have walked has led you to this moment, the unveiling of truths long obscured by darkness. The veiled key holds the power to reveal the ultimate revelation, but its secrets come at a price." I hesitated, my heart pounding with a mixture of fear and curiosity. But the fire within me burned brighter than ever, and I knew I had come too far to falter. With a resolute nod, I accepted the guardian's offer, prepared to face the consequences of unlocking the ultimate revelation. As the veiled key unlocked its hidden secrets, a blinding surge of energy swept through me, consuming my senses. Visions flashed before my eyes, images of forgotten worlds, cosmic forces, and the delicate balance between light and darkness. The weight of the revelation threatened to overwhelm me, but I held steadfast, determined to embrace the truth. When the vision subsided, I stood before the guardian, my breath ragged and my mind ablaze with understanding. The ultimate revelation burned within me, a knowledge that held the power to reshape our world, to usher in a future free from the shadows that had plagued us for so long. With a final nod, the guardian's spectral form dissipated, leaving behind a sense of awe and purpose. Evelyn and I emerged from the Veiled Sanctum, our souls aflame with the weight of the ultimate revelation. We knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges, but armed with newfound knowledge, we would forge on. As the echoes of the ultimate revelation resounded within me, I stood at the precipice of a new chapter. The weight of knowledge settled upon my shoulders, and a sense of responsibility coursed through my veins. The time had come to face the final test, to bring about redemption and liberation from the lingering shadows that threatened our world. Evelyn and I gathered the remaining survivors, those who had endured the horrors of the past, and shared with them the ultimate revelation. Their eyes widened with a mixture of awe and trepidation, for they too understood the gravity of what lay before us. Together, we formed an alliance, an unwavering force determined to reshape our world. The ultimate revelation had unveiled the existence of a dormant source of light, the radiant core. It was said to be hidden deep within the heart of a forsaken mountain range, an ethereal wellspring of pure luminescence. To harness its power and bring forth redemption, we would have to embark on a treacherous journey. As we ventured into the treacherous mountain range, an eerie silence settled around us. The air grew thin, and the wind whispered secrets that made the hair on the back of my neck stand on end. Shadows danced along the jagged cliffs, their sinister forms casting an ominous pall over our path. The journey was arduous, each step filled with uncertainty and peril. The mountains seemed to come alive, shifting and contorting as if challenging our resolve. We braved treacherous terrain, traversing narrow ledges and battling biting cold, our determination unwavering. The whispers of the wind guided our ascent, leading us to a hidden cave nestled within the heart of the mountains. Its entrance was veiled in darkness, an ominous threshold that beckoned us forward. As we entered, a chill gripped the air, and the cave's depths seemed to stretch into infinity. Torches illuminated the cavern's walls, casting eerie shadows that danced and writhed. The atmosphere grew heavy with an otherworldly presence, and a sense of foreboding tightened its grip around my heart. Yet the radiant allure of the ultimate revelation propelled us deeper into the darkness. As we delved deeper, the cave walls began to shimmer with an ethereal light. The whispers grew louder, as if urging us forward. We followed their beckoning, our breaths held in anticipation of what lay ahead. Finally, we arrived at a vast chamber, a chamber that radiated with an otherworldly brilliance. The radiant core, the dormant source of light, stood before us, pulsating with energy and purpose. Its luminescence cast a resplendent glow that banished the shadows from our sight. I approached the radiant core, its warmth seeping into my very being. With reverence, I extended my hands, ready to commune with its radiant power. But as I reached out, a wave of darkness surged forth, a formidable entity seeking to corrupt the very essence of the core. We fought back, our alliance standing strong against the encroaching darkness. The eyes of Revelation blazed with intensity, their light acting as a shield against the malevolent force. The battle raged on, shadows and light clashing in a cosmic struggle for dominance. In the midst of the chaos, I felt a surge of determination from deep within, a wellspring of resilience that stemmed from the ultimate revelation. I channeled that newfound strength, summoning every ounce of willpower to push back against the darkness. With a final burst of radiant energy, the darkness dissipated, revealing the untarnished brilliance of the radiant core. It pulsed with a renewed vitality, its power surging through me, permeating the very fabric of my being. As the radiant core's light spilled forth, it spread across the land, banishing the shadows that had plagued our world for so long. Darkness retreated, relinquishing its grip on the hearts and minds of humanity. The air seemed to vibrate with an energy that promised redemption and a future reborn. Our journey had come to fruition. The ultimate revelation had borne fruit. We stood in awe of the radiant core's power, our hearts filled with a sense of accomplishment and hope. But we knew that our work was not yet complete. With the radiant core's brilliance illuminating our path, our alliance embarked on a mission to spread its light throughout the remnants of our world. But as we journeyed through the revitalized landscapes, a sense of unease gnawed at the edges of our newfound hope. Lingering shadows persisted, as if reluctant to relinquish their hold entirely. In our pursuit of redemption, we encountered pockets of resistance, dark enclaves where remnants of the ancient entity's influence still clung. These pockets festered with twisted beings, creatures born from the residual darkness that refused to fade away. They lurked in the forgotten corners, feeding on fear and despair. Our encounters with these malevolent entities were fierce and harrowing. They embodied the lingering shadows, their forms grotesque and their intentions malicious. Each confrontation tested our resolve, pushing us to the brink of our abilities. In one such encounter, we found ourselves in a decaying asylum, an asylum that had become a breeding ground for the darkest manifestations of human suffering. The air was thick with an otherworldly presence, and the very walls seemed to whisper tales of torment and madness. As we navigated the labyrinthine halls, whispers echoed in the shadows, taunting and jeering. The flickering lights cast eerie shapes on the cracked walls, creating a macabre dance of darkness and light. Each step carried us deeper into the asylum's heart, closer to the source of the malevolence that festered within. We stumbled upon a chamber at the heart of the asylum, a chamber steeped in darkness and despair. A sinister figure stood at its center, its form twisted and contorted, a grotesque amalgamation of human and shadow. It emanated an aura of malevolence that made the hairs on the back of my neck stand on end. The creature lunged at us with ferocity, its claws slashing through the air with deadly precision. We fought back, our determination forged by the radiance of the radiant core. Light clashed with darkness, the battle raging on as the chamber trembled with the intensity of our struggle. But as the battle unfolded, a disquieting realization dawned upon me. These malevolent creatures were not merely remnants of the ancient entity's influence. They were born from the darkness that still lingered within the human spirit. It was the remnants of fear, doubt, and despair that had not been fully vanquished. With this newfound understanding, I summoned the power of the radiant core, channeling its light to pierce through the veils of darkness that clouded our enemies' hearts. The creature's form wavered, its strength faltering as the light of redemption illuminated its essence. One by one, the malevolent creatures succumbed to the power of the radiant core, their forms dissipating into the ether. Their defeat marked a turning point, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, and a reminder that true redemption required the eradication of the shadows within ourselves. As the last echoes of battle faded, a profound silence settled over the asylum. The air felt lighter, cleansed of the darkness that had once permeated its halls. Our alliance stood amidst the ruins, united in our purpose, and fortified by the knowledge that the fight against the shadows would continue. For we understood that true redemption was not a destination, but a journey. A perpetual battle against the inner demons that threatened to consume us. The lingering shadows might persist, but armed with the radiance of the radiant core, we would face them head-on, undeterred by the horrors that lay ahead. As the battle against the lingering shadows raged on, our alliance pressed forward, determined to reclaim the remnants of our world from the clutches of darkness. The radiance of the radiant core burned within us, fueling our spirits with unwavering resolve. But as we ventured deeper into the heart of the shadows, a chilling mystery unfolded before us. Whispers of a hidden realm reached our ears, a realm where the ancient entity had once dwelled, a realm untouched by the light of redemption. It beckoned to us, its allure shrouded in enigma and danger. With trepidation and curiosity intertwined, we embarked on a treacherous journey to uncover its secrets. The path that led us to the hidden realm was treacherous, fraught with unseen perils. We navigated through dense forests, where the trees twisted and contorted as if resisting our intrusion. The air grew thick with a sense of foreboding, and our hearts beat with a mixture of anticipation and fear. At the edge of the forest, we discovered an ancient portal, an intricate archway carved with cryptic symbols. It radiated an energy that sent shivers down our spines, warning us of the trials that awaited beyond. With a collective breath, we stepped through the portal, bracing ourselves for the unknown. The hidden realm unveiled itself, a desolate landscape consumed by perpetual twilight. The sky above was a tapestry of shadows, as if the very fabric of reality had been distorted. An otherworldly chill permeated the air, and an eerie silence settled around us like a suffocating shroud. As we ventured deeper into the realm, the whispers grew louder. Whispers that spoke of forgotten truths and ancient rituals. They seemed to emanate from the very fabric of the realm, weaving an intricate web of mystery and intrigue. Each step heightened the sense of unease, yet we pushed forward, drawn by an insatiable curiosity. In the heart of the realm, we discovered an ancient temple, an imposing structure that stood as a testament to a forgotten time. Its grandeur had been tarnished by the relentless passage of time, its walls etched with symbols that held the key to unlocking its mysteries. Within the temple, we found a chamber bathed in an otherworldly glow. The air crackled with energy, and the whispers reached a crescendo, filling our ears with their haunting melodies. At the center of the chamber, a pedestal stood, its surface adorned with a single ancient artifact, the Orb of Eternity. As I approached the pedestal, a sense of trepidation gripped me. The orb pulsed with an ethereal light, casting eerie shadows that danced upon the chamber's walls. The whisper spoke of the orb's power, the ability to manipulate the very fabric of existence. With caution, I extended my hand towards the orb, its warmth enveloping my palm. But as I made contact, a surge of darkness coursed through me, a malevolence that sought to corrupt the essence of my being. I fought against its grip, calling upon the radiant power within me to push back the encroaching shadows. In that moment of struggle, the orb's brilliance intensified, pushing back against the darkness with a ferocity unmatched. The clash of light and shadow reverberated through the chamber, the very foundations trembling under the strain. But through sheer determination, I wrestled control of the orb's power, aligning it with the radiance of the radiant core. With a burst of blinding light, the darkness dissipated, leaving behind a renewed clarity. The orb's energy surged within me, its essence merging seamlessly with the light that burned within my soul. It was a reminder that true power lay not in the manipulation of darkness, but in the unwavering embrace of light. As we emerged from the hidden realm, a sense of accomplishment and weariness settled upon our shoulders. The battle against the lingering shadows had reached its climax, and though scars remained, we had emerged victorious. We carried the radiant essence of the orb and the lessons learned from our journey, an eternal vigil against the encroachment of darkness. The alliance we had forged stood stronger than ever, united by our shared purpose. The remnants of the ancient entity had been scattered, and the echoes of its influence silenced. Yet, we remained vigilant, knowing that darkness would forever seek to test our resolve. Our story reaches its chilling end, but the fear doesn't stop here. Don't forget to subscribe to Spooky Nightmares for more bone-chilling tales. Stay tuned, and until next time, sleep with one eye open.